Hello from Donna at That Simple Life. I live in Southwest Indiana and I'm a wife, mom, Mimi. We have 6 little grands and a teacher. And I just like to show simple ways to make life fun and beautiful and rich without much time or money. Today I have a quick project to show you that you can use for yourself or as a gift. You can make personalized notebooks in minutes, and they can cost as little as 50 cents. This is a composition notebook, and that's what we're going to use for our project today. I made my first one in 2009. It's a holiday notebook. I just took a composition notebook, covered it with really cute scrapbook paper, created a title for it on the computer and printed that out and glued it on. And for 14 years, I've been keeping a list in here of Thanksgiving menus and the people coming and what tasks I needed to complete before Thanksgiving. Also Christmas gift ideas, the things we did purchase, how much money we spent, and what menus we used. So it's really, really nice just to have this notebook of 14 years worth of holiday, Thanksgiving and Christmas in particular, so that I can look back and remember what we purchased for people and what we served. This has been a great notebook to work in. The next one I made was in 2010. This one is kind of a general list notebook, and I just called it Live Simply. Can you tell that I've enjoyed the concept of simple living for a long time? I use this notebook to make lists of things I want to do in the summer, fun things or deep cleaning projects, lists of things I might want to do in the fall or in the winter. I've used this even to create lists such as remember this when you're older, things that I do or don't want to do by the time I'm 70. So this is just a great notebook for me to keep important things in, and I will soon be making my list for the summer of 2024, what I want to do. I've made this notebook for things like a thankful journal. I've written scripture in it. Just anything that's, kind of spiritually related that I want to write down, whether it's special quotes. I put those in this notebook. Then I made this fun notebook. This is a different kind of composition book. It has kind of graph paper in it, and I use it for art. Now, this cover is special to me. This picture here is from my first grade phonics workbook, and I just love it. Jim and Dot and Tag. Did anybody have those characters in their first grade phonics book? So I love this notebook, and I'm having a lot of fun using it just to do some doodle art, practice some lettering for cards I like to make, and just do some drawing and coloring with colored pencils. I can't draw realistically, but I can kind of do whimsical drawing. I made this notebook to keep records of our camping adventures. We bought a pop-up last spring, and so I used a page from a calendar to make this cover, and I just love it. See the washi tape here? I'm going to tell you what I did, why I put it on there, so that if you have this issue, you can. When I put this cover on, it didn't quite perfectly butt up to the black binding. There was just a little teeny bit of notebook showing, and so I just covered that with coordinating washi tape, and nobody has to know the difference. And I just used stickers to make a title for this one. I made this one as a gift. These make wonderful gifts. And the notebooks that I've used the most, look at this one. Oh my word, see how full it is that I made notebooks to keep a journal of the fun things we do with each of our grandchildren. So each grandchild has their own journal. Now Carson is our oldest grandchild, he's 12, and look how full this thing is. So I keep it simple. This is not Pinterest worthy, but I just put some photos in the front and wrote the story of his birth. And then as we spend time with them, I might stick in a photo, a card that was sent to me, or a card that he sends, I write letters to them of the things we did. Look, here's a little painting that he did for me back in 2015. It's fun to print collage photos through Walmart.com of the things we did together. Look, here's a little school paper of his that he sent to me, Mimi and Papa. So each grandchild has their own notebook, and as they give me a picture that they've colored or we spend time together, I just stick it in the notebook, and using washi tape works really well. Look at this cute one. This is his brother Emmett, and I just made a little paper hat and decorated this one for Emmett. He's only 6, so his notebook is not as full, but anytime we spend time together or he sends me something, I put it in his notebook. So I hope that one day these will be special to the kids. And if not, when I'm old, I can enjoy reading through them in those long, dark evenings, right? All right, well, let me show you how to make these notebooks. It's very simple. Especially at back to school time, you can get these composition notebooks for about 50 cents. I like them because the cover is very sturdy and the binding, the pages are sewn in. So these are made to stand up to a lot of good use. So get your notebook and then choose some decorative paper for the front. You could use nice cardstock scrapbook paper. You could use a free printable from online. You could use a calendar page. You could use a darling picture from a garage sale golden book. Look at this one. Wouldn't that make a sweet cover on a notebook? So the sky is the limit, but I'll show you how to make this using the cardstock. So choose your cardstock. Make sure it's bigger than your notebook, wider than your notebook, and you're going to line it up and jut it right up against that black binding. We're not going to cover the binding. So you want to get it exactly right up against that, and you can either make it flush at the bottom or make it longer because we're going to trace around it. So make it, have it on there tight, and then carefully turn it over. So I'll turn it this way so you can see. And then use a pencil to just trace around the shape of the notebook. Be sure you get those curves for the edges. After you've traced it, you just cut it out, and that's when you need some Mod Podge. This just came from the Dollar Tree. You can use a foam brush or an inexpensive paintbrush and just put Mod Podge all over this cover, not on the black binding, just all over the cover. Especially pay attention to getting it well on the edges because that's where your paper might have a little more trouble sticking. So we've Mod Podged the whole thing, and then we're going to take the cover that we cut out and glue it on here, just right up against that black binding, and just smooth it down really well. You could use a credit card or a gift card to smooth it out, and especially go around the edges and make sure that that is adhering well. If you have any trouble with it adhering, you can just come back in under the paper a little with a little Mod Podge. But we are not going to Mod Podge the front. So after you get the cover on, you're done with the Mod Podge. And then the sky is the limit. It's so much fun to decorate them. Like I said, you can use different colors of paper. I used Rick Rack on this one to kind of join the seam of the two colors. And this is just a stick-on jewel. I like to use buttons. Aren't those cute? And paper punches. Here, I even sewed around the picture. I don't know if you can see that. I used my sewing machine and just sewed this vintage picture onto the cardstock. Here I used some paper folding. So the decorating is the most fun part. And if you want to put a title on it, either someone's name or what the notebook is going to be used for, you just type that up on Google Docs, print it out on cardstock, and glue it on. Oh, I wanted to show you one more thing that's fun to add if you want to, and that is a bookmark. So just cut a piece of ribbon longer than your notebook and pick a spot, a third of the way into the notebook to glue this on. Let me find where mine is glued. Here it is. And I just glued it on simple to the top of a page so that it would hang down in the notebook like this. And then I just glued a cute button on the bottom to weight it down and make it extra cute. So there you go. You can make these for kids, for them to journal in or just to draw in. You can make them as gifts for grandmas, new mothers. I made one for my mom just to keep lists of things she wanted to get done or important information in. So I hope this is something that sounds fun for you to try. It takes very little time and very little money. It's a lot of simple fun. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'll see you next week. Thank you for following and liking and sharing this information, and I'll see you next week. Thanks, bye.